I'm Evan Seiwert. I serve on staff at Wichita State University, and I'm here this summer as a team leader shepherd, and I help the long-term staff here think about how to best utilize a short-term team, as well as meeting with the team leaders and helping them think about shepherding and discipling a team throughout their summer experience. So in a Buddhist context, such as what we're in here, one of the unique things is, again, they bring a very performance orientation to religion, thinking about, okay, if I do enough good things, then I can move up, and hopefully when I'm reincarnated, attain a higher level. And then the goal is to break out of that. And so there's this performance orientation that the gospel can really begin to speak into. But then there's also some challenges there with Buddhist culture thinking, okay, we can bring in other gods into that. So maybe Jesus does sound good, but we'll just add Jesus into what we're already doing. And so one of the unique challenges in a culture like this is really testifying to the exclusive nature of Christ and the gospel. We just get to play one link in the chain of God bringing people to himself, that we get to play our role for a season on the field. We get to trust that God will be faithful, that he's been faithful to work before we came to the field, he'll be faithful to work after we came, and that we get to just partner in this global work God is doing.
Coming over here, it's just been a joy. You build close relationships with your team and also close relationships with students. And I think that once I get back to the States, it'll definitely change my perspective on the world.
I heard someone say this once, but I think it's so true. Don't ask the question, why should I go, but why shouldn't I go? Especially in college, you only have 3 summers, sometimes less than that if you have to do student teaching or other things. And once you get out of college, every single summer you're going to be doing something. And so as cliche as it sounds, it really is true that time is so limited, and it's such a valuable time to get to use and to get to minister to other people. And I think it truly does deepen your faith so much when every single day, every single conversation, you feel the dependency on God, because you know you can't just go up and walk up to someone. I have learned that God has a heart for all people, and I have just continued to see that God can break down any barrier or any excuse that exists. That while so many of these people don't speak the same language as me, God has shown that his grace is enough, and that he is so often the bridge that can cover that gap between languages and between cultures.
Seeing students come and see that God is a global God, that the gospel is not just for Americans, but that God does indeed have a heart for the nations. And now the nations aren't just over there, but the nations have a face, and the students have real relationships, and see that these are men and women that God cares about. I think if you're willing to step into what God is doing and try it for a summer, God will change your heart. God will show you that he has a unique role for you to play in the Great Commission, whether that's on the field long term, or whether that's right where you're at for a lifetime, making disciples and helping cast a vision for the nations right where you are.